Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mr. Ratliff. I am teaching you from beyond the grave. I'm just kidding. I'm still alive. That'd be really eerie and creepy if I were teaching you in that manner. But I am away at a technology meeting this morning, which is a little bit ironic and silly because I'm using technology right now to teach you. I'm like a robot. This is what going to class is going to be like in the future. I'm going to be out of a job, and some robot's going to be teaching everybody. All right, today's objectives. I can organize evidence and present my evidence in an effective manner. Bunch of fancy words for let's get our evidence organized, put together, and we're going to find our strongest and best evidence. All right? All right. Evidence that goes BAM, okay? Our goal as debaters, writers, and arguers is to present evidence that our audience has a difficult time refuting or denying, okay? We want to trump them. We want to send out that trump card. Okay, we want them to hear our evidence and say, ooh, that's tough to beat. Okay, this guy, that's Emerald. He's a chef. He's kind of like Martha Stewart, but, you know, without the prison time and stuff. All right, ranking and choosing evidence to support a reason. How well does each piece of evidence match my specific point? Remember, this is a 5-paragraph essay. 3 of those paragraphs are going to be your reasons. You need 3 reasons. Does your evidence match your reason? Okay, so if one of your reasons is that playing sports is good for a kid's health, then you're going to have to find evidence that relate to health, quotes and statistics that relate to health. All right. How hard is this evidence to argue against? Is it tough for the person on the other side to come right back and defeat your evidence, right? Think back to that video we watched yesterday of me and Mrs. Makos. She came right back at me with evidence to trump me, to make my evidence look smaller. That's what you're trying to do here. How surprising is this evidence? Does the person you're arguing against every now and again have to nod and agree, like, yeah, all right, I mean, that makes sense. Or even somebody who's impartial look at it and say, oh, maybe that sways me to the other side. Okay? And what will this evidence do? How will I use it to strengthen my argument? Okay? Let's see. This worksheet you find in your packet, okay? So if everybody can open up to this page in your packet right now, that would be awesome. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Everybody's shuffling their papers. I'm sure you're all shuffling right now. All right, now everybody back up here, okay? Here's what I want you guys to do first. I want you to read through all of this evidence on your own, okay? Once you read through it, I want you to rank the evidence from best to worst. So one is going to be your best evidence, okay? This is the best piece. If you put a 3 down, that is the worst evidence you have, okay? Oh, I got a little thing up here right now. That's the worst evidence you have, okay? So keep that in mind. Go ahead and pause me now and take time to read through this evidence on your own. All right, so hopefully you've read through all the evidence now. Let's take a look at how I looked at this evidence and what I thought was the best and what was the worst. Okay? The first thing I see, evidence A, while competitive organized sports are often seen as a positive way for your child to spend his or her time, some of the pressures of sports could become a negative impact on kids in general. Okay, looks good, sounds good, but here's what it really is. This is just a reason. Okay, this is just one of your paragraph topics. This one might be about pressures, okay? This is just a reason. In my opinion, this isn't great evidence. This isn't good, but let's look at our other 2 first to find out where it really ranks on here. Evidence B says, immediately before the final period began, the coach would point to David and begrudgingly insert him to right fullback for the requisite minimum amount all kids must play. He made it painfully clear to the others that my brother was the weakest of the weaklings, that he was useless as a soccer player. All right, this sounds like a story. It sounds like our narrator is just telling us a story. That's a really good way to use evidence, okay? You can be your own expert. They call this an anecdote. Anecdote. Sorry, that looks terrible. All right, they call this an anecdote, though. This is a story. This is you being the expert, you giving a story that proves a point. And you'll find this evidence in your stories also. I think it's A, B, C, D. I think it's D, yeah. That has that guy who, or the girl, I can't remember what it is, but little brother plays sports and had a rough time. Okay, that would be an anecdotal kind of story. All right, evidence C. One of the most comprehensive surveys to date by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that from 1997 to 1999, sports and recreation-related injuries were more common nationwide than injuries from traffic accidents. Aha, so we have statistics, right? We have stats here. Stats, in my opinion, is the best piece of evidence you can have. If somebody gives me a stat, I cannot refute that. I can't go back and say, no, there's no way that's real, right? As long as you have things to back it up, you have statistics, it's a fact, that is the best number one source of evidence that you can have, all right? Now let's go back to those other two. A reason. A reason is not evidence. A reason is a topic of a paragraph. Okay, so I would say that this would be the worst evidence that you have. Okay, and an anecdote. Anecdote's a really good piece of evidence also. Okay, so I would say that that is our second best. If you have that, awesome. If you don't, go ahead and make it look that way now. Okay, following along in your packets. So really, guys, stats is our best thing we want. Anecdotes are stories. Okay, reasons, that's the topic of our paragraph. We will get to that whenever we outline our essays. All right? So now that you guys have an idea of how to power rank your own stuff here, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to be on your own, and I want you to go look at the evidence you've collected so far. How does it stack up with those questions we looked at just a minute ago? Can it be refuted? Can you get the other person to kind of nod in agreement, right? Is it really strong and relevant evidence? Okay? And now I want you to power rank your own evidence. If I'm you and I have my chart, right? I have my for and against chart and the other. I've got all this stuff jotted down, right? I've got all this stuff, okay? I want us to go through and I want us to rank. Here's my best stuff. I skipped 3. I have no idea how to count. Okay? I want us to rank our best and our worst evidence for everything. Alright? So yours might end up looking something like this. This is you ranking what is the most irrefutable. What is my strongest evidence? Okay? Now I know that on here you guys have kind of paraphrased reasons, right? Go back into your reading and find those real quotes, those real statistics that you can match to each of these things. Alright? And if you have really weak evidence, replace it with strong evidence, okay? You're going to have 3 paragraphs, all right? So you're going to end up needing 9 pieces of evidence to cover a whole essay, okay? So you need 9 strong pieces, okay? So you'll have reason 1, and you'll have 1, 2, 3 pieces of evidence below that, okay? Hopefully this makes sense to you. But right now it's just all about picking out our strongest stuff. Sorry, this pen is not easy to write with on the computer. Alright guys, so that's what you're doing now for the rest of the class period, is I want you to rank your own evidence and replace weak, bad evidence with the strongest stuff you can find. Alright, good luck to you. Be on your best behavior. I'll see you later.